Hello and welcome. I'm Nathan2 and this is the SketchUp Make Tutorial 2016. Episode like 27. God, I should really note this down. I did close the window this time though. The window's closed. So this time, I just want to actually give a brief warning before we go ahead with what we're doing about the materials that we're using. So ABS, PLA and food safety, it's actually in the manual, so I just thought I'd mention this as well. ABS is not approved for food service, so don't eat off of an ABS plate, because I think it's potentially not the greatest of things to use to eat off of. PLA is food safe, but is unable to cope with the heat generated by a dishwasher. So any stuff made with PLA, make sure you clean that by hand, because otherwise you might melt your plate if you put it in the dishwasher. So yeah, just thought I'd get out of the way, just in case you 3D print your own stuff now, and you know, you kind of brick your dishwasher in some sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by creating a circle on the floor. So we'll do that. We'll create the circle of 25mm, and then we'll raise that or extrude that by 2mm. That is the base of this. So what we want to do now is go to here, offset tool. We'll pull that in by 2mm, and then we will extrude the outer wall up by 80mm. And that's raised that up. So now we have a pretty standard kind of cup, right? You never really see cups like this, to be honest. So if we just select the top surface here, back on the subject of scaling, if we select the scale tool up here, we can see that with this selected, the top surface is now scalable. So if we hold down Control, oh no. I pressed a couple of bad buttons. Let's redo that. Yeah, so we'll just select the top surface like that. If we go to the scale tool, we hold down Control and we put it out. We can also hold down Shift as well, and we can just pull that out. So we can make a pretty wide cup, or whatever if we really wanted to. We can make one which looks a bit more like a cone, or massive freaking cup, or we could just do that. And then if we typed in 1.3, it scales the top of the cup to 1.3, which makes it look a bit more cup like. And then obviously with some of the previous tutorials, you can indent your design into the side of the cup and it will look marvelous. It will look amazing, and it will be tendered to your business, company, whatever. And you know, you'll be able to drink out the cup. It's a fairly big cup, decent sized cup, and you know, you could use it as marketing or whatever you wanted to do with it, you can do with it, which is great. And that's the great thing about 3D printing, is you now have that freedom to do that. So since we have that done, we'll move that out of the way. Move that over here. Is that right? Yep, that's good. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to create a little circle on the floor of the radius 30. And now you have a little circle on the floor. We want to pull that up by 2mm, and then we will create a outer rim for that of 2mm, which is pretty much where it was anyway. We will pull this outer rim upwards, but this time we will do it just by just by 50. So we'll do that like that, and then we're just going to grab this top rim here. Now if we just select the scale tool, we can just do Control Shift, pull it out, and then we'll type 2, and this does it in scale factors, which is kind of like you know, like if you see remote control cars and things like that, it'd be like a scale factor of 1/32 or something of the actual car size. So we'll do that by 2. Now we have a bowl. Look at that, that's cool, isn't it? So now we have a bowl that you can actually eat out of. You can put your noodles in it or whatever, and you can 3D print it yourself, and you know, you'll have one bowl created every, I don't know, probably once a day at the speed of some 3D printers. I'm not really sure the speed of the 3D printers. Mine hasn't been finished yet, but make sure you're checking that out in the other videos that I have, because really interesting stuff. We're getting to a really good point of that now, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to going further with this 3D printer, and also really can't wait for, you know, oh, I'm rambling. Okay, I'm rambling. I'll stop. Okay, now we have a, so now we have a bowl and a plate, a bowl and a cup. What do we want to make next? We want to make a plate. So move that over there. I mean, we don't have to have that all on the same platform. It doesn't really matter too much. But what we'll do is we'll create a larger bowl, a larger base for the bowl, for the plate. Oh God, words today. 50 millimeters. So that's around about where it was anyway. We will extrude that up as we usually do by 2 millimeters, and then we will create the indent of 2 millimeters, and then we'll extrude that up. But this time, even less than previously. We want to do that just by 15 millimeters this time. Now it kind of looks like a cake dish. And I suppose if you really wanted to, actually no. I was going to say you could probably make a cake dish, but maybe, I'm not sure even what PLA would do under that much heat. I think it would probably melt. It would definitely melt. It would definitely melt. So don't do that. Maybe in the future, when we can make things out of metal and we can 3D print metal objects, that'd be pretty cool. I really can't wait for that. When that's possible, we could make a cake dish. That'd be cool. Yeah, so similar thing as to what we've done before. I'm going to just grab this and just consider the fact that this is going to be on a 3D printed mat, so it needs to be within the size and whatever of the 3D printed surface, I suppose. This is done on the MakerBot Extreme or Extended or something for some reason. I'm not really sure why they chose that one as the default, but that's what this one is done as the default. So just select the top bit and we'll go like this, and then we can just pull that out, and you can have the plate go out or whatever as far as you want, and that is about right for a plate, really. I mean, most plates have that kind of lip on the edge, so it might look a bit bowlish or whatever, but I mean, usually the middle bit would be kind of like domed a little bit or whatever. I suppose you could do that, but I'm not going to get into that this tutorial. So don't forget to comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter, that's @Nathan442, and let me know what you've created on this. I'd love to see if you have actually created some designs around plates or bowls or whatever you thought you'd create yourself. If you put logos on it, your own designs, you know, all that kind of stuff, or if you have actually 3D printed one and you'd like to show me something that you have made completely by yourself, that'd be great to see. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter @Nathan442, and thanks for watching.